increase, basically.
Good night, Miss A.
Have yourself a wonderful night, Miss A.
Sean, have you seen Plan 9 from Outer Space? And if you did, what do you think of it? That's a weird movie. And yeah,
It's fantastically terrible.
It's actually the only Ed Wood movie I've seen.
Psychotic Gex asks, I'm sorry, I honestly thought you were referring to Chad when you asked that question. Your thoughts on the whole Nintendo Tomodachi life?
Tomodachi life.
It's a D.
They handled the whole like same-sex relationships in the game thing really weirdly.
Yeah, I retweeted a thing of that earlier, and I lost like 4 followers from that, and I laughed really hard that people were against that.
It was originally a bug, and I'd honestly give the unpopular opinion of saying that, unfortunately, it's that weird thing. It's where there's only so much in terms of enforcing your morality onto people who are creating the creative content in the first place.
I think the weirdest...
not everything is meant to reflect your real life. That's why you read
about
books.
It, though, is the fact that in Animal Crossing New Leaf, they don't really care if you dress up as a girl, if you're a boy. They let you do whatever. There's a lot of like.
It's androgynous, though. It's as androgynous as you're going to get with things like that, and
like you could even get like girl hair. They give you a lot of options.
Either way, I'm perfectly fine with whatever the decision is. It's their creative content. I know a lot of people, especially in this day and age, want to try and have everything in their real life or morality be reflected in the content that they consume, but that's not really the original reason why people are involved in any sort of hobby in the first place. If you're there to play a game, I can't remember the countless times I have enjoyed playing myself as a little girl, or a gigantic mech, or Master Asia.
There you go.
Really, Master Asia is the correct answer. Everyone should just be Master Asia.
Although I would say Duo Maxwell. But then again, I'm an old man. Indily asks, John, do you have a favorite RPG? You referred to Grandia 2 when answering another question, so I'm curious, or wondering.
If I had to say one, it would probably be Chrono Trigger, followed by Final Fantasy VI. And then after that, it's a little shaky. I'd probably say Mario RPG. You know, there might be a trend here with the SNES ones. After that, I'd probably say The World Ends With You. And then it gets shaky after that.
Dranicos asks, I ended up getting Child of Light, or not asked, but he says, I ended up getting Child of Light after watching your review, John. I wanted to thank you for posting that. I'd probably overlooked it otherwise.
It was a decent game. Admittedly, I was somewhat curious about the game, like, up through development. I was like, why are the Far Cry 3 guys making an RPG? But when I got asked by Ubisoft to cover the game, I'm like, all right, sure. Like, it looked interesting, and I'll give it a shot. So I did enjoy my time with it. Just I always got hung up on that stupid rhyming. Especially that fucking "what's inside homicide" line. Holy shit.
That is a good line.
The fucking literally, okay. I will read you my notes before I wrote the review.
Okay, were you like Jack Torrance, and then instead of all work and no play, you just wrote "What's inside homicide" all over again?
You know too much. That actually would have been really funny if I'd done that. My notes were like, there's like 6 lines, like 5 of them were like, I think 4 of them were about the rhyming, 1 was about the actual gameplay, and 1 was literally that line. Yeah, the review itself was like a page and a half. Storyline rhymes, majority of text in-game rhymes, including hints, conversations rhyme between 2 or more characters, 1 character doesn't rhyme on purpose, actually kind of charming, keep accidentally making wrong oculi by rushing through the menus, I didn't even cover that at all in the review. Heavy on exploring, almost like a platformer. What's inside homicide? 2-player mode seems more useful than Super Mario Galaxy games. That was all my notes on the game, and then I just wrote the review out of that.
Novusina, have yourself a wonderful night.
What's inside homicide? Quote of the year.
Good night.
Let's see here. R590 asks, John, if I wanted to at some point stream myself for fun and not being concerned with subscribers or popularity, would you recommend Twitch, and what type of equipment would you recommend?
Yeah, I'd recommend Twitch. It's really the only other competition they have is Hitbox, and Hitbox is not at a point to compete. So
It really comes down to, do you have a capture card? Yes or no? Are you going to stream some PC stuff? And which streaming thing do you want to use? Free XSplit is the easiest to use. OBS is free, but it's not as good as paid XSplit, so it's personal preference, really.
yeah, just really you can mess around with a couple different options. Just try anything you like, and then just go for it. I'd recommend trying it out. It's fun. I really enjoy it. That's why I keep doing it. Why I keep losing track of time. I intended to stop at midnight my time. It is now 2:15 in the morning here. So
you can stop whenever you'd like.
That's true, but I'm just stating. All right, we will do 5-question rundown.
I will let you choose the questions.
Cool. Dear John, it's about 20 minutes from when you said 5 minutes of Q&A. Yeah, I know. Like I said, usually takes 20 minutes.
I did my best to give him a reminder.
You did.
What are your thoughts and opinions on the Uwe Boll films? I've only seen Alone in the... Or not Alone in the Dark. Actually, yeah, no.
House of the Dead, you mean?
No, I actually did mean Alone in the Dark.
That's right, he did do Alone in the Dark.
Christian Slater, man. Christian Slater.
I love, though, that he boxes everyone who says his movies are shit.
Dude, watching him box Lotax was actually pretty funny, because Lotax did not give a shit that entire time. He just ran around the ring, just cheering.
It was fantastic.
Who was the girl in Alone in the Dark? It was a well-known model. It was just funny that it was supermodel with glasses. Now she's a scientist.
Sex supermodel.
They're blah, but apparently they slowly started getting better. Apparently the Far Cry movie he did was actually all right. And I've heard mixed things about the sequels to the Dungeon Siege movies.
Have you seen House of the Dead, though?
The original or the sequel?
There was a sequel?
There was a sequel.
See, I just remember House of the Dead. One, it doesn't have a house. Two, it's... Well, I think there are zombies, but they're voodoo zombies, and it's just randomly on an island.
They're still zombies. It doesn't matter if they don't suffer like
they're not
G did.
science zombies, though. It's not accurate to the canon.
Just suffer like G did, really. Come on.
Nah, I don't hear the sincerity in your voice, Jewker. Not at all.
She's actually just Uwe Boll in drag. Jeez.
And the answer to that, after looking it up, it is Tara Reid.
Tara Reid. Okay, yeah. I love how it was just she puts on glasses. Now she's smart. Every time, and apparently, every scene where she had to say something super intelligent, she had to put glasses on. But every other scene, her glasses are off.
That is really weird.
John, what do you think of the Nintendo Smash tournament coming up? I'd like to hear more details about it. It's an invitational, but at E3. So are they flying people in? Are they just saying random people hey, if you're in the LA area, come and play Smash Brothers in a tournament? I want to know more details on it.
It's E3. It costs about $400 just for a normal person to get a ticket in.
True, and even then, you still need some credentials.
No. The public pass is floor pass only. You won't be able to attend any of the news conferences and such.
Gee, ask why much I suffer.
John, will you do an RPG night since they pass over on fortune cookies?
I'm not gonna lie. I was actually tempted to make one of the Misfortune options all RPGs. I debated against it and ended up not doing it, but yeah, there'll probably be an RPG night at some point.
It's probably better that you didn't, because even then, the usual thing would happen where we wouldn't get to do anything.
I would have done the 5-in-1 thing like I did with the bad games. I would have been here's 5 RPGs, and then Hotline Miami. Pick one.
It's a tragedy, because you never really get to experience the RPG or the narrative long enough when it comes to just doing for 30 minutes or even an hour.
Yeah, because otherwise it would be perfect for a stream.
True. I'll think about it. John, would you be interested in doing more raffle giveaways every now and then? I have a lot of spare keys via Humble Bundle that I wouldn't mind being able to make someone smile for winning. Xanaduzu, message me a bunch on Twitch. We'll chat a bit about this. I'm up for the idea. Which reminds me, people did give out a couple extra games to hand out, but it's getting late, so I'm wondering if what I should do instead is just get them and then start the next stream I do, which I guess
I was about to say that.
Or do the TRG stream and give them away. I think that might be the best plan.
That's a good idea.
I think that's what we'll end up doing is the TRG
and that
stream.
gives more winners, more chances to be winners.
Yeah. So
it's always nice to space it out properly.
If the guys who sent in games are cool with that, that's what I'd like to do. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. If you don't want me to do that and you'd rather save it for just a normal stream where it's just me and not a TRG type event, then I'll do that.
Armageddon Counselor, have yourself a wonderful night.
All right, well, one last question. One question, would you and TRG ever consider stopping at A-Con? The thing with us going to certain conventions is that usually, if we're gonna be guests, we'll definitely go. Like, if a con wants us there to run a panel and stuff, we will definitely go. But, usually when it's, like, on our own dime and just, like, on our own schedule, we're a little, like, eh. Because we already, like, I'm in the States, like, once a month for, like, 8 months out of the year. And that's usually to cons or to, like, Emil's place to record, so... If we keep pushing it, then it's eventually going to get to a point where we're just traveling too much, so... It would depend on the time and, like, and if they want us to be guests. Like, we are always down to be guests, but... We also don't want to get burnt out. John, can you please go to bed? Alright, that's a good question to go out on.
That is not a question, that is a statement.
A command. Winged Wolf commands you to go to bed. Chat, do you command him to go to bed?
No, stream longer, God! Crap, there was... Okay, I'm going to read these out quick. These are... I got one last donation here from James. Thanks for the streams, John. You always sound like the coolest person to hang out with. It's not much, but I hope the cash helps a bit. Maybe grab a snack or 3 in case it's another airport nightmare. Kidding aside, best of luck. Have a safe trip and fantastic rest of stream. I know I will. Sincerely, your entertained subscriber, James. Thanks, dude. And I missed one message in here.
John, go to egg.
Go to egg. I don't think I have the egg sound loaded right now.
You will give me an egg!
I do. Never mind. We're good. Kitsu Heart says, I didn't leave a message for my donation, but I'd like to say something... I'd like to say something at some point for the donation. When I was separated from the USN, Navy, I fell into a deep depression, and the only thing that kept me going was YouTube. The first YouTuber I found that interested me was Chugga with his Earthbound LP, something I was always interested in. Through him, I found you and followed what you two did as much as I could for what little I had. It quite literally saved my life, since I had been having thoughts of suicide for months after I returned home from the Navy. With all that's happened and all that I've watched and seen and later experienced, I just want to say thank you, John. Truly, thank you. It's you and Chugga that slowly inspired me to try and become a content creator myself, hopefully soonish. So the least I can do is donate to help you continue to be strong in what you do, with hopes for a bright future. Kitsu.
That's so nice.
Kitsu, thanks so much. I'm glad we ended up helping you get out of that.
I think that's a good note to end on.
That's a good note.
That is a wonderful note.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry it was not as long as usual streams, believe it or not. This is like 2 hours shorter than how we usually stream. But
well, it is a test stream, too.
I also had to start late. I was at a point where I either would have started without eating, which would have gone badly, or had to delay it because of that. Plus, I wanted to get the update video up in time. So, thanks, guys, for tuning in. Jewker and Tenmar, thanks for being on comm.
A pleasure, as always.
Thank you for having me.
Mm-hmm.
Now play me the Proto Man whistle song, so I may leave.
I don't have that sound clip available right away. There is no ETA for the TRG stream. If there is going to be one, I still need to make sure the other two guys are okay with it. And if we have a player 4 around at the time, I'm not sure. There could be a player 4 available, because I know there are some friends we have in the area who might be around. We'll figure that out. Thanks for tuning in. And if you want to know when the next stream is, keep checking the page here. The stream page title updates when I know for sure there's another stream, and I usually post on Twitter too.
And you can also join the Steam group as well for any sort of updates on that.
That's true. We have a Steam group, and every time there's a stream, usually Tenmar, sometimes K-Head, I believe, will post a update on event on there stating when the next stream is. Thanks, guys. See you next stream. Take us home, Robocop.
Disappointed!
Whoa, guys, it's RoboCop.